Marku, where we talk about let's talk about the Seattle Seawolves playing down there at Starfire in Tukwila. Your Major League Rugby champion, Seattle Seawolves, had a big win this Sunday down there at in front of another sold out crowd at Starfire. Marku, tell me a little bit about this game.
Man, this was a nail biter, and it was a huge victory for the Seawolves. They beat the number 1 seed Nola Gold in front of another sellout, like you mentioned, and they moved up to second in the Major League Rugby rankings right now. So teams heading on an upward spiral, and man, the game this past weekend was very exciting, and it was a televised game on CBS, and it was a good one to be on TV because it came down to the wire, and it was a 1-point game.
Yeah, these games, if you haven't been to these things, the crowd is like, it's a Seattle crowd packed in there down at Starfire, making noise, going crazy. It's a sellout every time. Marku's been to a couple. This is just a good time down there at Starfire. But not only that, like when the Sounders started up in this town, man, this team is good. They won right off the bat, and they are having another great year, beating the Nola Gold 25-24 here. You were looking into this game a little bit. How'd they do this? How'd they pull this one off?
Absolutely. So the biggest takeaways I got from this one was their defense, and they kicked a lot of balls through in this one. Not a lot of tries, a lot of 3-pointers for them. So the game basically started off for them with a kick early on, making 3-0. But Nola's is a good team, and they came right back and took a lead with the 7-3 with a try. But Seattle, like I said, it was a bunch of kicks. We got 3 straight penalties right after that. Took a 12-7 lead right going to the half. It was just a defensive grudge match. No one really got any big runs off. And to start the second half, Seattle extended their lead with a couple tries, or with a try, and then Nola came back with their own try, and it was just a back and forth affair. So basically, Nola blew this one, in my opinion, because they missed back-to-back kicks on a couple of their back-to-back tries, and it set them behind. And when the Seawolves took the lead, they just didn't give it back up.
Now, this is a big win for this team because Nola Gold is actually leading the MLR right now. Seawolves tied with them at the top after this win. Got them some extra points to move them into a points tie, I believe. No, total points. It looks like Nola's still ahead of them, but to get closer to that team. So to beat the top team in the MLR, a big win for the Seawolves this weekend.
That's right. I mean, they beat Nola Gold. They're number 1. So Nola Gold's still at number 1 at 43 points. We are now tied at second with San Diego Legion at 41 points. The Legion beat us twice this season so far. So hopefully we can get back, get some revenge in the playoffs if we see them. But yeah, another big win for the Seawolves in front of a big crowd. Last time we had a big crowd, it was against San Diego. It was a tough loss in another tight game. But this one was exciting, and it came down to defense at the very end of the game. The Seawolves had a great they had a great fumble. They forced a fumble to basically kick the ball and end the game. So team's very exciting. Defense is very strong. The week before that, they broke the record for points in a game and only gave up like 12 points. So the team is in mid-season form right now, gearing up for the playoffs. The end of the season's in June, so they got about another month and a half of regular season play here. So really just focusing on staying in playoff position and maybe moving up to get home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yeah, got to get some home field advantage in those playoffs because like we said, sellout crowds every week at Starfire down there in Tukwila, and the energy just incredible to get that team forward. All right, what do they got coming up? Looks like they face Toronto on the road this week.
Yes, Toronto this weekend. It's going to be a morning game, 10 a.m. You can watch them this Sunday. Hopefully they keep up the streak. They're at a three-game winning streak. They're 8-3 on the season. They're just looking to keep on top. Like I said, just fight with San Diego and Nola for that top spot. We have the best crowd in the league, so if we get that home field advantage, it's going to be very important for us.
All right, Toronto currently sitting in sixth right now, way back. So this is
very good team though. But they are surprisingly good team. This is their first season, and they are in a bit of a bind trying to fight for that last playoff spot. I think them and New York are fighting for that spot. So the MLR is very exciting this year, and this should be a good game against Toronto.
All right, and we will, of course, continue covering the Seawolves' defense of their Major League Rugby championship as they head to defend it in the playoffs coming up soon. So, Mark.